Good morning. Yep, that's me, the one waving at you. My name's Jay. And if you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel. Every little helps, and I can make more content for you guys out there. So yeah, please subscribe, and we'll see you in a bit. So here we are at Canons Brook, Harlow. Hole 1, Brookside, 387 yards, slope index 4, and it's a par 4. Now from the tee, fairway's not too long really. A nice gentle drive down the centre of the fairway, placed slightly to the left. I mean, you don't want to go to the right on this hole because you'll end up in the brook or in the trees. And if you play to the left, then you'll most probably get behind a tree. Won't give you an easy shot into the green either. So my advice on this hole, play a nice gentle drive down the centre of the fairway, slightly left, because otherwise you'll end up having to hit over the tree just by the brook. It's not easy, but it's doable. If you're a big hitter, go for the brook. Now, hopefully you'll line up where I said, just left of the on the fairway. Bring into the green for the second shot, and possibly a 2-putt out. That'll give you a par on the first hole. So yeah, get out there and get on it. Canons Brook, Harlow. Moving swiftly on to the second hole, Oakside, 340 yards, slope index 14, another par 4. Now this is where I always tend to drive left. But what you want is a nice gentle drive again, preferably centre of the fairway. You don't want to go out left where I normally go, because you'll end up on behind the trees again, on top of the hill sometimes, or hit it right, you're on a cricket pitch, worse still, in the trees, out of bounds. Anyway, place it down the centre of the fairway, just gently. Now between the bunker and between the tree on the left, there's a slight ridge, slight hill. Now if you was to drive it really well, you'll maybe bounce on top of that hill, and you've got a downslope approach to the green. Now sometimes in the summer especially, you can hit a good drive there and it'll just roll on. It'll crest down the hill and it'll just roll on. Now it'll give you a nice little chip on to the green from there then. But if not, your second shot in shouldn't be too hard, as long as I say you don't go right. Stay away from the bunker. The little keyhole, just aim for the keyhole. Bump it up onto the green, bump and run. And yeah, land the green in 2. Gives you a chance of another par 4. Yeah, another 2-putt. Job's a good one. Another par on the second. Hole 3. Ridge, 413 yards. Slope index 1, par 4. Now this one's not so easy. Little alleyway from the tee box, through the trees, up a slight incline onto the fairway. Don't go left on this one, you will be behind the trees. Try not to hit it right, because you will go into the trees on the right, out of bounds. Now just down there, you'll see it in the picture coming up now, is the 150 yard marker into the green. Perfect aim for that. That's something you want to be aiming for, although you can't see it from the tee box, but just hit it straight along the fairway and you should be within a good chance of hitting the green on your second shot. It's not as easy as I make it sound there. But yeah, just don't play it right on this hole. Left's not too bad, it'll still give you an approach shot into the green. But if you're lucky enough to hit the second shot onto the green, Bob's your uncle. I mean, another 2-putt and you've got another par. Making it sound easy, but trust me, it's not that easy. Okay, so we're moving on to hole 4 now. Mool Hill. What can I say? This one's a little bit more difficult, one of the longer ones on the golf course. If you're like me, I like to play it into the farmer's field on the right hand side there. Not easy, not good. Or I like to play it into the trees on the left hand side there. yeah, not good. Anywhere up by this bunker, level with it, just past it, anywhere along there, will give you a good second shot in. And like I say, this is a good long par 5. And your second shot, still not an easy shot. It's all uphill, slight incline. But anywhere, I'd say, by these bunkers, maybe slightly over the bunkers, you can get away with hitting it to the right, to the left. I wouldn't chance my luck there. Obviously, the approach shot is over to the right hand side, just by these bunkers. And then for your third shot in, nice little chip up onto a 2-tiered green. And yeah, most of the time the pin is at the back of this green, fairly long green, and like I say, it is a slight 2-tiered green, or at least it's got a little bit of a dip in the green. Yeah, land on the green for 3, gives you another 2-putt. Moving on to the first par 3 of the course, slope index 16, hole 5, Cotton's Cradle, 154 yards in. You're seeing the tee from here as the drone flies over, and we'll just show you the green as we're coming up to it now. Just spin the drone around. Not an easy one this, because it's a corridor of trees. Little ditch to the left as well, and a bunker surrounding the approach on the green. Now this is a 2-tiered green. The pin, yeah, a lot of the time is down on that first level, but yeah, it's not an easy hole, this one. Even though it's a par 3, it's easy just to put it in a bunker, play it short, or hit it to the left and lose the ball, or to the right and lose the ball. Once you're up on the green, as long as you land on the lower level, it's fine. If you're playing from the upper level down, yeah, you got the chance of putting it into the bunker in front of the green. So not an easy par 3, this one. Hole 6, Hillview, 484 yards, slope index 17, par 5. Another one for the big hitters. This one actually goes downhill from the tee box into a little dip in the centre of the fairway, and then the approach up the hill incline, and it's sort of slightly to the right for the green, but the hill goes from left to right as well. So the tee shot here, you don't really want to go over to these right hand side trees. It's easy to lose the ball, and the left hand side, I think that's a goner as well. So I mean, it is findable on the right hand side sometimes, but it's not an easy shot out. Anyway, the green, normally if you're a big hitter, in the dip, just over the dip, gives you a good approach for the second shot. You can reach the green with your second shot sometimes, but if not, as long as you play to the left hand side of the fairway, aim for this bunker in the left hand side here, and if you're short, it'll roll down and round. Maybe give you a chance at a nice little chip onto the green, and then another par if you're 2-putting out. Just don't go through the back of the green with your second or third shot. I'm not saying you will with your second, but with your third shot, because you'll lose it in the trees. Hole 7, another par 3, slope index 13, the Table Mount, 175 yards, but it plays a little bit longer than that. So yeah, maybe a 6-iron, maybe a gentle driver even. This one does play a little bit longer than you think it does. Sand trap to the right, sand trap to the left, and trees surrounding. The green's fairly forgiving, so if you do hit it slightly long, it can go through the back. It does run fairly quick on this one, but my advice is to try and roll it up the hill. Gentle 6-on, you want to hit the approach and then roll it onto the green. So another par 3 that plays a lot longer than you think it does. And as we approach hole 8, Norton Rise, 368 yards, slope index 10, another par 4. This also becomes a starting point for weekend members early morning when hole 1's backlogged. So prepare yourself for that one. So another one, the perfect line for this tiger line is over the trees to the left and over the bunkers on the left hand side. Anywhere by these trees, by these bunkers, slightly to the left of the small tree in front, is perfect. It does go up a slight ridge there and gives you a good approach to the green. Now my favoured shot on this one is ridiculously over to the tee box on the 6th hole, which is ridiculous, but that's the way I play it. Don't play to the left on this one or to the right because you will end up behind the trees. Now don't look too bad there because obviously there's no leaves on them. But it don't give you a very favoured shot onto the green from either side, left or right. So try and aim the keep the ball straight. Stay out of bunkers, stay out of sand traps. Green's not too bad, although just where the pin is at the moment, you can just see the darkness on the green. That is where it's slightly inclined. So if you are up there and you're hitting it down, then yeah, just watch yourself on the putting. It will run a little bit quicker than you think. Hole 9, 370 yards, slope index 7, par 4, and it's called the bunkers. Directly in the centre of the fairway on this one is 2 bunkers. Now from the tee box, if you can, I don't know really, I don't know where you would favour this, aim for the bunkers. I think if you can actually draw the ball, then perfect hole for you. Slight dog leg to the left. Hit it too far and you will end up in the cherry blossoms, the trees on the right hand side. You can get an approach shot there, but it's not very easy. So anywhere near the bunkers in the centre of the fairway really, and it'll give you a fairly clean shot onto the green from there. Couple of bunkers to miss left and right of the green. The key hole is fairly clear, and this one is a very long green, so there's no problems there really. Fairly, I'm not going to say easy hole, but because it's the teeing area that catches people out. But yeah, there we go, hole 9, bunkers. As we're moving on to hole 10, 376 yards, slope index 5, par 4, also called Harvey's Hyde. Now we all call it the garden hole. Pretty straightforward why it's called that, and it's because you're playing through someone's back garden. You can just see it there at the end. It is the end of someone's back garden, just by them trees and bushes. The path goes directly through it. Now it's a bit of a tunnel there, bit of an alleyway to tee off through, but once you do, and if you do hit the correct shot, you can get a massive drive on this hole. Couple of fairway bunkers left and right. Now if you do tend to slice your ball, hook the ball, whatever you if you go right, not too bad, because the 11th fairway is there. Just stay from the trees really. If you hit anywhere near this tree in the middle of the fairway with your long drive and it's sunshine, you can get a fairly decent roll on. So yeah, the approach shot is really good if you can get a decent drive. Now I've had it before where my drive has near enough, not far from the keyhole, and it's gave me a nice little chip up on. So the hill does roll down slightly, and then it just becomes a awkward green because it runs from back to front, quite an incline on that. So yes, a bit of an awkward green. Other than that, garden hole, also known as Harvey's Hyde. There we go, hole 10 at Canons Brook. Here we approach the longest hole on the course. Beaten track, 536 yards, slope index 3, par 5. This one's not a nice one. Teeing area, and stay from hitting out left because that's a goner, not getting that ball back. But the fairway is fairly sizable, so shouldn't really miss it. And again, if you hit out right, you're going back onto the garden holes fairway, so not a problem there. Slight kink in the fairway there, but it also down into the dip where that tree is sticking out on its own on the left hand side up there. That's where the dip is. Long drive anywhere past these bunkers, and if it's a hot day like it is when I've done this video, you've got a chance of it rolling onto the top of the hill. If you get to the approach to the top of the hill, just where the dip is, where the tree is, you'll see. If you're just above that, then you've got a nice second shot in. Second shot, anywhere up by this right hand bunker, slightly left of it will be okay, but you know, just don't go too far right, because obviously you're going to lose the ball in amongst the trees on the right hand side. Too far left, which you've got a fair bit of rough before you get to the trees, whereas on the right you haven't. Once you hit the right hand side, that's a goner. But anywhere on the left, you've got a fair bit of rough before you get to the trees. You're still okay over there. But favoured shot is just by this bunker, either before it, to the left hand side of it slightly, or just over it if you can. Just over it would be preferred. But then you're onto the green, and the green again on this one is fairly large. Not much of that bunker on the left hand side, hardly ever comes into play when I play it. But just don't go too long, because you will lose it through the back of the into the trees in the back. But again, if you can hit the green in 3, you're doing well on this hole, because it is a massive hole. Hole 12, my favoured hole of the course. Willow Pond, 116 yards, slope index 18, par 3. Just don't play it short, because you will be in the pond. Now this is another awkward par 3, fairly sizable green. Not too big, but easily to land on it, he says. Anyway, don't play it to the left, don't play it to the right, don't play it short, and stay out of bunkers. What more can I give you? But no, this is my favoured hole, just because it looks pretty, and I like the hole playing over the pond. Brings us on to hole 13, Chimney View, 382 yards, slope index 8, par 4. Now this one's got a really weird dip, goes down from the tee box, down an incline, and then back up from the dip. And as you can see there, the 150 yard marker just in the just off the fairway to the left. If you play a shot to the right, you may get away with a shot in to the green for your second, because it is playable from beneath the trees to the right. Play it to the left and it should still be playable as well. You will have to keep your second shot low if you're playing from the trees on the right hand side, because they are fairly low trees. And you've got a fair bit of rough on the left hand side here, so if you do go long with your drive, you should have a chance of finding the ball and having a decent approach to the green from there. A little bit better over on the left hand side than you are on the right under the trees. Couple of bunkers around the green, mostly to the left hand side, which tends to make you hit the shot slightly to the right. I don't know why that is. Obviously you just don't want to play for the bunkers, but yeah, it tends to make you go to the right on this one. This has got another slight incline on the green on this one, although you can't see it from the drone view, but it is slightly uphill, slight incline in it a little bit. But yeah, another sizable green, and that's the 13th hole at Canons Brook. Welcome to Paxton's Pond, hole 14, 402 yards, slope index 9, another par 4. Favours the faders, if I said that right. Slight to the right. Play the ball out left if you're a fader, if you can fade the ball well, and you should get a nice approach to the green. But as you can see from the lines on the fairway, it does sort of tend to slope downhill and to the right. And if you're a real big hitter, I have hit the ball down by the pond to the left hand side of it before, once before, but not been able to do it since, and my normal shot is to the left hand side in the trees here. If you hit it right, if you do tend to hit the ball I'm going to say slightly right. Yeah, you've lost it. That's a goner, because once he gets in amongst them trees on the right hand side, yeah, calling it quits there. Anyway, you've got the pond to play over for a second shot in. A nice big bunker on the right hand side of the green, but the green is reachable in two, and it can give you a nice feeling when you hit this green in two. Used to be one that I favoured as well, but sort of gone off my list now, maybe because I can't play it very well. I keep hitting the trees on the left hand side. But yeah, once you hit the green, it has got a slight incline to the back of the green and to the left, but 2-putt for a par 4. And we're moving on to the Royal Road hole, par 3, 201 yards, slope index 11. Now this one is a killer because of the main road on the right hand side. Now it does look a fairly easy par 3. I'll take a driver, an easy driver to this hole, but it does scare me because you only need to hit the ball right, which has happened a fair amount because I've walked down that path and seen how many golf balls are in the bushes on the right hand side of that road. It's just incredible. So yeah, I've done it myself, hit the road and heard a couple of cars beep and everything, but yeah. Green is surrounded by 4 bunkers. It's not too bad. You play it left, you've got a shot in still, but hit the green. I mean, I hit a nice gentle drive on this one. Normally hit the keyhole because it's slightly uphill on the keyhole. Slows the ball down a little bit. If you troll through the back of the green, it's not too bad. But yeah, this one's quite a nice shot for the driver. Gentle, and I mean gentle driver. It's fairly straightforward, straight on hole, and yeah, reach the green. Like I say, 2-putt out. This is possible birdie hole though as well, this one. So, but there we go. That's hole 15. Here we're moving on to Poplars, 476 yards, slope index 15, par 5. This is hole 16. Now, a lot of people actually say this is one of the hardest holes on the course. From the tee box, it is directly uphill, starts levelling out just past this bunker on the right hand side here. But your drive should be aimed towards that tree on the left hand side, really. If you can manage to make it that far, you're doing well. Hit it out left, and you've got like the practice area that your ball can go into, so it's not a problem. You won't lose your ball there, not normally anyway. Hit it right though on this hole, and I'm afraid, yeah, you're reloading. You're not getting that ball back. That's a goner. Anywhere up by this bunker, preferably over the bunker, and you've got a good drive there. Now, it's quite a narrow fairway, this one, but anywhere between this bunker on the right hand side and this tree standing out on the rough just off the fairway on the left hand side, your ball position there for your second shot in, you've got perfect drive. Now, the fairway does slope from right to left on this one a little bit, and just as you approach the bunker up on the right hand side here by the trees, it does tend to drop down. So the keyhole is all downhill onto the green, and the green's fairly large as well. A couple of bunkers to the left, so if your second shot does go wayward left, then yeah, you got a couple of bunkers to contend with, should I say. And you just don't want to go left on this hole into the trees on the left, because that's going to be a goner. But if you can hit it right, it will roll down the hill, roll down the keyhole onto the green, and should give you a chance at a birdie on this one. But yeah, a nice little 2-putt out, maybe 3-putt, 2-putt for a birdie, 3-putt out, job's a good one. And that's the 16th that a lot of people say is the hardest hole on the course. Now, the Death or Glory hole, 326 yards, slope index 6, par 4. Now you'll see why they call this Death or Glory in a minute, as soon as the drone pans around. I wasn't too keen on this hole, but I tend to like it a little bit now. And I do like the way it is called Death or Glory. A little bit of a corridor there between the trees to tee off through. Hit it in the left, you lost your ball. Hit it right, that's another goner as well. But just up in front, where the bunker is on the left hand side, that's probably where you want to be for your drive. Maybe a little bit to the right and a little bit further on. But as I'm showing you there, right and left, them trees, you just don't want to be hitting your ball in any of them. So down by this bunker, slightly to the right. And yeah, just a little bit further on. Not too far, because the approach to the green is probably the distance you want. So just past this bunker, just to the right, slightly. And I call it death or glory because, you know, are you going to go for it or are you not? Now, I know someone, I mean, I have hit a ball down to the left-hand side by the brook, and how it didn't roll in the brook, I don't know. It just stayed out. But I know someone that has hit the centre part of the green there, between the green and the fairway, between the two brooks, has hit onto there before, which is giving him a little chip up onto the green. But yeah, I've never done it myself. Second shot in, obviously you've got the two brooks to play over, and the green is slightly raised from the surrounding rough around the green. Hit it too far out the back and you will be losing that ball. Hit it to the right, you're losing that ball. But it's not the easiest hole on this course, I must admit. It does sort of give you I don't know, some kind of complex, because you know you've got to hit that green and get it over the brooks. It's so easy to miss hit it and hit it onto the green space between the brooks. Hole 17. And finally, hole 18, slope index 12, par 5, 501 yard, Coston's Canons. Now, never really liked this hole because I used to always hit out right into the allotments. But anyway, more I play it, the more I'm getting used to this hole. Another slight alleyway to play the drive from the tee. Missing out the trees on the left, missing out the trees on the right. Go too far right, you're in a housing estate, or if you hit it long as well, you're in the allotments that you can just see in the picture. You don't want to be playing it left, because once you hit them trees, that's a bugger to find. Unless you go over the trees, then you're back on the practice area. Perfect position for a drive, anywhere by this bunker on the right hand side here. Maybe slightly left of the bunker, get it just over the bunker, you're laughing, but anywhere, I mean, obviously it's the fairway, but anywhere down by this bunker, that'd be perfect. Now, I've always said, your second shot, now I never used to do this, I used to just hit it along the fairway, but your second shot, you want to be aiming left. See them cherry blossoms up in the left hand side, by the fairway there, by the conifers. Yeah. You want to be playing your second shot towards them. The reason being is it'll give you the angle into the green for your third shot. If you hit it long enough, you've got a fairly good angle in anyway. But if you can't hit it that long for your second, then you want to be aiming for them cherry blossoms, so that it gives you the angle onto the 18th green. So just gives you the third shot in to be over the brook. It should set you up a nice little flop shot onto the green, and the green's fairly large on this one. You've also got the guys that sit out in the beer garden watching you hit the green. So grab your wits about you there. But another fairly flat, decent green. It's just that brook to get over. And as we're looking back, that's the cherry blossoms you want to be aiming for. It does give you the shot in, gives you the approach in. So second shot on that one, aim for them trees on the left hand side. Again, the green, fairly large green, and yeah, once you're on there, what can I say, as long as you can two putt, you should have another par on your hands. The green's fairly flat, so yeah, and like I say, the guys, they'll be drinking their beers, watching you come in for your final shots and putting out. Love it. Hole 18, and that is Canons Brook. Just going to show you a full view from the drone, as high as we can get it, 120 metres high. and you'll see most of the holes from there. I'll just pan around, show everyone what it is. And there we go, you can see the first hole in front of us, directly in front. Obviously the second goes to the right. You're looking at the 14th there with a pond on it. I think you get my gist. Canons Brook Golf Club. Yeah, if you like this video, obviously don't forget to subscribe. I have much more on the channel as well. It's not just about golf. There is camper van builds, there is camping trips. So yeah, just press that old subscribe button. It's free of charge, so just press that old button. Helps me out in the future. I'll catch you on the flip side.